Fox Factory Vehicles delivers the thrill. Their turnkey, hassle-free custom trucks and SUVs are built to dominate any terrain, all while retaining their factory warranty. Do you want more power? Go supercharged. Build and price your dream ride today at foxfactoryvehicles.com. Fox Factory Vehicles, where performance meets precision. Herm Schrader on the Dirty Mo Media platform. And yes, we both are in St. Louis, Missouri. Starts right now.
All three of us in St. Louis, or surrounding area.
This is very rare. Why are we all home now, Kenny?
Because it's friggin' raining everywhere. No, I'm home, but I got to leave tomorrow for 3 weeks. I'm not excited about that, but 3 weeks.
Oh, I know you. You're jacked up on sun.
No, I'm not. It'll be okay, but I'm not.
Where are you going?
Oh, Federated Play Days and racing and stuff.
It sounds exciting to me.
So, yeah.
Okay.
You want to go?
No, I know I don't travel anything like you, but I'm done for a while, and this was planned. I got
your vacations kill you. You vacation a lot.
I really do.
Yeah.
I really do. I did plan June, July, and August my dirt racing season, and the trackside lives are pretty simple because our buddy John Scatoni, he's got that little SR22. So I will fly in to Atlanta on June 28th, and we'll fly back that same day. But enough of me. This is the portion in the show. Kenny Schrader, what did you do over the weekend?
We went racing Friday night. I had a whole list of possible places. We wound up in Lincoln, Illinois, which is always a good track. You know, you go out, you make 2 hot laps, and that's qualifying, and I buried ourselves in qualifying. So we started 6th in a heat, charged to 5th in the second heat. So you started 10th in the feature. And we were still running at the end, even though it didn't look like the car ought to run. Just right side. Bent the roof again. It's just hate it when the roof gets bent. You know, it didn't turn over or nothing, but the roof got bent. And we finished 6th and then got rained out Saturday and Sunday at a multitude of different racetracks. Never went, but they kept canceling. The only one yesterday we could have went to was Quincy. And it's like, we're not going because it's pretty simple to look and see what's going to happen. And there was a lot of people checked in when it happened. So we only got one race in this weekend.
What is that with racers? You're looking at the weather. You see a green blob coming toward, you're on the weather radar, and you see the green coming. Do racers will themselves like, we're going to race? Do they will themselves? Because, I stayed home. I was going to go to Quincy too. And I'm like, nope, it's going to rain.
Yeah.
But there was like 40 cars checked in. I'm like, what's going on?
Now, I used to do that. I used to do it. And we went Friday night rolling the dice, but it looked like it was going to miss. And it only missed by 20 miles, but it missed, But it did look like it was going to miss. Yesterday didn't look like it was going to miss, so we stayed home.
My buddy Rick Knorr, he wants that $3,000. They got the regional championship. It pays $3,000 to win. So he wants that. I said, Rick, stay home. I'll give you the $3,000. He just stared at me. I said, Rick, I'm going to run 30 races this year. Okay.
Yeah. I know somebody else that's chased that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know someone else that's chased that.
I accidentally won it one year because, Mike Harrison should have won it. And on the last race, he was doing the deal where I'm going to run 30 and only 30.
Yeah.
And his left front hopped Tyler Nicely's right rear at the 30th race for Mod Mania.
Yeah, left front doesn't hop anybody's right rear. You run over their right rear. The left front only goes where you steer it.
Go ahead. Mike Harrison. He's going to get around the outside of you, and you're supposed to know he's there.
Yeah.
So, I was right behind that deal. I didn't think anything of it. And I got back to the pits. This is like 2022. I get back to pits, and one of my guys said, "Hey, we won that, that regional deal." And I said, "What?" So, yeah, so that's kind of how that happened. Okay, what did I do? I got back from Cabo on Friday night at midnight. And Saturday, I got the car ready to go. I want to thank my son-in-law, Brody Pompey. Brody did unload it from the week before for me, put it on jack stands. He did wash my tires. That was a big head start for me. And then yesterday I went back up their shop. Hey, you'll be proud of me, Kenny. I got both the motorcycles back.
Mm-hmm.
I got the trike and my two-wheeler. I've been getting on my two-wheeler lately, just driving myself up to lunch. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know that.
I know you know. That's why I'm telling you.
All the time. Yeah. Yeah, no, just be careful over there. Boy, traffic's, they don't look out for you.
We're getting to racing. We're only 6 minutes in, but real motorcycle people like Christy Barnett and Sherman, every time I talk to Christy, as you know, they're your dear friends. They own one of the largest Harley Davidson dealerships in America. And the number one thing Christy says to me, be careful on that motorcycle.
Yeah. And we're not worried about you falling.
Yeah.
We're worried about you getting hit.
Yeah. True motorcycle people. That's what they all say. And you're right, Kenny Schrader. Be careful on your motorcycles, everybody. We're us too, and we're serious about it. Okay. Charlie, you ready?
Let's do it. Let's go.
Okay. NASCAR is on a heater, guys. In sports, a heater means you're on a roll. And I like that saying. NASCAR is on a heater. Let me explain, and then Kenny, you respond to this. Okay. North Wilkesboro was awesome. Charlotte, the slide job by Ross Chastain over Willie B. They go to Nashville. That was really good. And last I looked, Jeff Gluck's his poll, we could have a record for the best race of the year ever. I saw 92% of the people thought Michigan was incredible. 92. Kenny, what do you think? Is NASCAR on a heater right now?
They've been having some fabulous races. You hardly ever do you take a photo of the winner taking the checkered flag at Michigan and see second, third, and fourth in the photo. That just doesn't happen a whole lot because it winds up being so much of a fuel mileage race, which it did wind up being a fuel mileage race yesterday. Yeah, it was great. And the place looked, it had people in it. People stayed. I like everything about it. Yes, it's on the heater. People will tell you, well, it doesn't have near the stands it used to be. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But it's got a hell of a lot more people than it had a half a dozen years ago. So, like I said, we're not expecting to double crowds every year. But just give us 15% more every year. We'll take it. And it's been, a few years now they've been doing that.
Charlie, I'm going to give my opinion too, but what do you see? I see you out there on social media, and the first thing you said, by lap 20, you said, "Man, Michigan's racing really good." I mean, they were 3 wide, 2 wide. I mean, in green flag runs, it wasn't like just on the restarts.
I'm biased now. I grew up in Toledo, so that was kind of my home track, and I covered MIS for 2 years in 06 and 07 when they had 2 cup races at the time still. But I thought from a TV standpoint, just racing, passing, multiple grooves, to me, the 2 races that stand out were Kansas and Michigan being bigger. It just looked really good on TV, right? All the restarts looked good. Again, multiple grooves. People are going fast. They're passing. I thought from a TV standpoint, it was the best race of the year.
Go ahead, Kenny.
What Michigan doesn't show on TV is I think I watched the last half of the race yesterday. What doesn't show on TV is they run 204. I think I saw getting into one.
They're getting it.
Which is we used to see more than that. But 204 getting into one, and you see one of those cars will be side by side, and you just barely see it wiggle on TV. Inside the car, it's like you just hit ice, and that is a very stressful race. You're off the throttle, didn't really see any brake pedals yesterday, but you're off the throttle. How much to get off, when to get off, when to get back on. Those cars aren't ice, man. And it doesn't show that as much on TV, but when you see someone just wiggle just a little bit, and then 3 or 4 cars passing because they had to get out of the throttle, I cannot believe how hard they're running.
Darrell Waltrip calls that the hospital hop.
Yeah. Yeah. It's coming. It's up to you to save it. Otherwise, it's going to be ugly.
You're headed to the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with everything, guys. I'm gonna go a little further here. First of all, this race is like really good because even I'm sitting there on the couch the whole damn time, and if my hyperactive ass can sit there and watch it, it means it's getting really good. But something happened at the end of the race that really made me happy. It's been a long time since we've watched this. Usually happens, back in the 90s. When Denny Hamlin won that race, every fan stayed in their seats because they were waiting. They were waiting for Denny Hamlin, and he did not disappoint. Of course, his father told him, "Don't do it, boy." And Denny Hamlin gets out of that car, and he goes, "I'm sorry, Dad." And then he looks at everybody and he says, "But I beat your favorite driver." And of course, there were some cheers and some boos. So I think people are appreciating Denny. And then to get him a little more, to get their GOAT, we know that Michigan and Ohio in college is a massive rivalry. So when the interview's over, Denny, the microphone's within reason, and he puts up the big O. Ohio. And I mean, the fans stayed after the race, and that's one of the, the judges, that's one of my judgments. And what do y'all think?
Right now, with Denny, you're going to get a little extra. And Denny yesterday was his 700th race.
700 start.
And the list of drivers that have won after 700 starts is...
You're in there, Kenny Schrader.
No, that have won.
Okay.
After 700 starts is... I think maybe I read 10. I think I don't remember that statistic.
That's something for Charlie to look at.
Yeah, drivers that have won after 700 starts, but Denny's still top of his game. If he didn't win a championship, it'd take nothing away. It'd be like Mark Martin or Harry Gant. I mean, they're still friggin' heroes.
Denny's getting into that rare air where he's closing. He needs 3 more wins to get to 60 wins in Cup and in the post race. And I got to tell you, shout out to this Prime. It's going to be sad because there's only 2 races left on Prime. And boy, I'll tell you, they are killing it. They are reminiscing of, I reminisce when I look at them of Speed TV, and they come on with that, NASCAR race day before, and then the NASCAR victory lane after. Of course, they're not using the names, but that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, they really give some good information on the victory lane show. That Danielle Trotta, man, she's still killing it. And she says, Denny, you only have 3 more to 60 wins. And he says, I can do it. He's sure of himself.
Well, yeah. And rightfully so. That's not just being cocky. That's fact. He knows that him and his team can do it whenever they get in that car.
Yeah. And I like Charlie. Do you think that he reminds you who's the player at at Philadelphia, the baseball team.
Bryce Harper?
Yeah. Is Denny Hamlin the Bryce Harper? Because he said on that post-race show, he says, I cannot have NASCAR announce my name. He says they got to do something. He don't care if it's booing or cheering. He said that. He says, when they announce me, they got to do something. Cheer, boo.
Yeah.
What do you
Make
think,
noise.
Shrek?
Either way, make noise.
Yeah. Is he the Bryce Harper, Charlie?
Yeah, Bryce Harper, when he came up especially, he was that brash kid. He was 18, 19 years old. But I think Bryce Harper's a guy that people either love him or hate him. So I think that's a good comparison. By the way, this was Denny Hamlin's 701st start, and he's now one of 10 that has won a race after 700. And I'm trying to find the exact list. I know it's, okay, we got Richard Petty, Kevin Harvick, Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, Kurt Busch, Ricky Rudd, Bill Elliott, Bobby Allison, Terry Labonte. I think I saw Richard Petty had 22 yesterday after 700, I believe.
I don't care what it is. Being on that list, that list that you just said, that's enough.
Yeah. And listen, I'm going to go there. I know, Kenny, you probably don't want me to, but he looks good. I mean, he's thin. The team, he's physically fit. I mean, what is he, 43, Charlie? Denny Hamlin, 43. Looks like he's 30 something. I mean, I guess when his beard grows out, you see all the gray, but that's a young, he looks physically fit. And
44.
Wow, 44. Okay.
The sport's changed. There for a long time, drivers retired early. They were in the 30s, late 30s, and then everybody started going longer. And now everybody's going, quitting, getting out earlier again. Not 30s, but
yeah, Freddie Lorenzen from Chicago, God, he was like 32 and went back to Chicago.
But he also decided he screwed up and went back.
Yeah. Oh, he did. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Freddie went back, and when he went back, it didn't work as good.
Hey, I just learned a lot right there. Well, then you fast forward a lot, and then we had that whole group: Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon, Clint Boyer, Ryan Newman, Bobby Labonte. They were all retiring 43, 44, but right before then, of course, Rusty, Earnhardt, 50. Yeah, you're right. That does seesaw, doesn't it?
That's why I said it. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we just had to bring it up, the facts, starting with Freddie Lorenzen, the Golden Boy. Kenny Schrader's been saying it, everybody. NASCAR's trending up, and I think I'm saying it. I think it's starting more.
Let me throw this out. And I know it depends. I know baseball depends on what type of year you're having. What are baseball games doing in general?
The Cardinals have got better crowds now because they are winning, and they just took 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers.
Okay, I said I know it has different, because our deal's different because you only got, you don't know which team's going to win. You know which one of them two is going to win a baseball game.
Yeah.
But our deal's different. So if you go for one team, you got a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
If you go for one team in NASCAR, the odds ain't so good.
Yeah, it can depress. I always said that's where the bad talk about NASCAR always came from, is because your driver didn't win, so you hate NASCAR. That's the way it always was.
So forget. Oh no! Wait, just 1 second. Forgetting about the Cardinals.
Yeah.
What's baseball in general doing?
I got it for you here. So obviously, COVID was weird, right? For the couple years after COVID, but if you go 23, 24, and 25. So the average attendance for a game in all of MLB was 29,114 in 2023. It went up a little bit, 29,373 in 2024. And now it's 27,882. So it's slightly down, but I also think we're just heading into the summer months when everybody's off school and all that. So baseball attendance early on, bad weather, people are in school. It's not as good in April.
We got the same deal.
Kenny Schrader bringing
No,
the
I'm just saying.
receipts.
No, I'm just
School's out. How's it go? You just correct me when I'm wrong.
no. Wind up talking a lot.
Good point. Michigan pretty much was our first race where most of the kids now across America are out of school. And boy, Michigan just looked good. It did not disappoint. All right. That was Denny Hamlin's third win of the year. His battle with William Byron was one for the record books. And Kenny, going down that back straightaway, Denny Hamlin says, I got to get rid of your ass, and shows him the right rear quarter panel a little bit. You know, Denny doesn't cut off and he doesn't chop the corner. He's like, okay, Willie, you're going in the weeds up here.
Yeah.
He kept his lane and finally got rid of Willie B after 3 laps of side by side.
Well, Denny was better. Willie was doing everything he can to hang on. It just didn't, wasn't able to make it long enough. But just a good race. Real good. Everything about it. And Carson Hocevar.
Oh, he's always been the real deal, but I mean he's just getting it done.
Yeah, well, and any one of those drivers, really, really getting it done, doing good. And whatever they're driving has to do its part too. And Spire's car is obviously doing that. But it, a lot of weeks in a row that he just keeps showing up. Flat left rear yesterday.
And that is a nemesis for some of those cars that are running too low of left rear air pressure. I guess it speeds the car up a lot. And every time they go to an intermediate track, the first day, let's say it's Friday or Saturday, they unload at Kansas City. They unload at Charlotte. At Charlotte, you saw Ross Chastain. He ends up winning the race, but this happens all the time where they put too low of air pressure in the left rear because it makes speed. They blow it out. And they got left rear issues, but everybody's saying, look, not everybody's blowing these tires out. It's the guys that are pushing the limit with that air pressure. I mean, so felt bad for Carson. He won Money in the Bank race at Berlin.
Tuesday?
His third win.
Yeah. Was that Tuesday night, I think?
Yeah. I'll go with you because I don't exactly know. It sounds about right.
Yeah.
How far is Berlin, Michigan from the racetrack, Kenny? The big track?
It depends how big your map is.
Well, yeah, I used to tell Sue Sifford, I'd be riding with her and Mom, and, you'd get a map out, and what is it? Every inch was 100 miles. And I said, we only got that far to go. We are moving on to other things. It was a great race. And Charlie, do you have the top 3? What the winner was? Denny Hamlin.
I got Buscher in second.
Ooh, yeah.
Ty Gibbs in third. Bubba Wallace 4th. Kyle Larson 5. Ross Chastain 6th. If you want the whole top 10. Zane Smith 7th. Kyle Busch 8. Ryan Preece 9. And Brad Keselowski at his home track 10th.
Yeah, because Byron did come down pit road coming to get the white.
Yeah, he ran out of gas right there at the very end. But he shouldn't have, because, that's a whole nother story. After the race, he said his team said, go ahead, go. And
they had already won 3 races this year.
I'm looking at it.
Didn't the crew chief say, we'll run out of gas leading this thing before we, at the position they were in, they could roll the dice.
Listen to this. I'm going to put it up, but I am going to say it for the podcast, everybody. These are your playoff standings. Kyle Larson with 3 wins. Denny Hamlin with 3 wins. Christopher Bell with 3 wins. Willie B's only got 1 win, Kenny, but I can understand why you think
it was Daytona.
But Willie B got outrun there on the last couple of laps at Charlotte. He got outrun on the last couple of laps here at Michigan. It's fair to say that William Byron is leading all these races. And then, of course, Ryan Blaney is a winner. Joey Logano is a winner. Austin Cindric, Josh Berry, Ross Chastain. So we have 9 different winners. And Ryan Preece is right there. He is 16th in the points. So in Kyle Busch, Ryan Preece and Kyle Busch are tied, but Kyle Busch is on the outside looking in right now. But we got a little bit to go. So, okay, we're moving on. Before we move on, I want to let everybody know that welcome to the Fast Lane with Fox Factory Vehicles, delivering the thrill for drivers who demand the best. Our fully custom, turnkey, hassle-free trucks and SUVs are built to dominate any terrain and retain their full factory warranty. Whether you're headed to the track or the trail, these rides are ready. No delays. Do you want to feel the rush? Kick it into overdrive with our optional supercharged models and unleash the power. You're in the driver's seat. Head to foxfactoryvehicles.com to build and price. And when they talk about build your own, the Black Widow is my favorite. That one's my favorite. And like I say, I love it. I love it. It's got my Jake brake down there. Got my Jake brake.
What's their website?
foxfactoryvehicles.com.
Okay.
Okay. As Walter Cronkite would do. Ding, 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 ding. Breaking news. And I mean big breaking news, guys. Kenny, we're going to let Charlie explain it to us. I'm going to say it. Charlie's going to explain it, and you're going to comment. We all will. But Ram is back in NASCAR. This will be the fourth automaker. That's another reason, Kenny, that we're going to have to, you said NASCAR's trending in the right direction. Now they're starting a moonshot. A fourth automaker is coming back, and Ram said, we're coming back to the trucks first, and we are also coming back to the Cup Series. Charlie, they want a little bit of this action. TV paid $8 billion. Now the automakers want back in. Can you explain this Ram, Dodge, Stellantis, Fiat? Can you explain it to us?
Sure. And I'm just learning this as well because people were getting on me for still calling it a Dodge Ram. And everybody say, no, you can't call it a Dodge Ram. So basically, 2009, they spun it off so that Dodge is just the cars and Ram is the trucks. So that was 2009. And then this Stellantis North America is now the parent company. Growing up, everybody thought, obviously, Chrysler. Again, I'm from Toledo, so home of Jeep. So it was Chrysler growing up, but now it's this Stellantis North America, and they own all of that. And then this is all under the umbrella. But basically, yes, even though I say this, and I think everybody will still say Dodge Ram, technically they're not together. So Dodge is the cars, but it looks like Dodge is going to come to Cup, right? That was also announced maybe in a couple years. But Ram, they're the trucks, and they're coming to the Truck Series next year.
Well, this is very confusing because my Fox factory vehicle is a Dodge Ram. It says Dodge. It's a Ram, Dodge Ram. So I'm going to go with you. Kenny, what's going on? Why is NASCAR doing so good? Why does everybody want back in now?
I'm wrong guy. I mean, it's just, it's stepping back up. It's just, we've talked about it 100 times. It's just, sport's pretty healthy and we got, always got problems, but we don't have any major problems on the horizon. It's a lot simpler to come in now, I would think, for a manufacturer. They got to come up with the engine and get approved and stuff, but they don't have to go, and then they got to get good teams, but they don't have to get good teams that can, this is for the Cup Series, good teams that can build their cars and everything, because you buy the damn car.
Wow, good
you
point.
bolt it together. There'll be enough factory support that they'll be able to come up with some good teams. So, I mean, the Truck Series, and like we've seen it before, people come in, they start with the Truck Series. Toyota did the same thing. Dodge did the same thing before in Truck Series, and then and then branched up to the Cup Series.
You bring up a good point, Kenny. I mean, they don't got to build the car. You buy the car. I guess they got to get their motors together. And like you said, teams, but they got a big shortcut. If you're going to join NASCAR right now, there's always that talk of Honda. Is Honda coming in? You're right. If you're going to come in NASCAR as an automaker, this should be the easiest time ever because you just buy the car. I mean, you got to obviously do the
chassis
motor
part. Yeah, the chassis part. But then Arrington Enterprises in Martinsville, Joey did a lot of the Dodge work before. I got to believe that his name's going to be involved somehow, with all this going around. So who knows? I do know, not change subject, but the truck race, I text Stuart Friesen.
Yeah.
I said, "Hey, good job, hero." He said, "I don't know how good a job it was, but somebody had to win the damn thing." And,
hey, let's stay right there. But I just want to wrap that up. We will stay with the trucks, but I agree with you, Kenny. But I want to go one step further. Think about the hundreds of more people that will go back to work. This is kind of like the factory that shut down. The steel mills up there in Pennsylvania that have been shut down. There was a lot of people that got let go. And I mean, if you just start 3 truck teams, just 3, and give me 10 employees, I mean, you're going to put 30 families back to work. And we know it's way more than that.
Yeah, well, let's back up here.
Okay.
I'm betting that 3 truck teams don't start. I'm betting that 3 truck teams switch manufacturers.
Oh, good point. Good point.
There might be somebody start up, but I would say there's going to be somebody that will figure they can be higher on the technical support and the financial support on Ram's list than they are with their current manufacturer.
Is it safe to say that there's going to be more money put into NASCAR? Some of these teams are going to, because now Ram's going to have to do better than the automaker that's there right now to have these teams switch over.
Yeah, we just got more enthusiasm. We got another manufacturer. It's just good.
Okay, so let's stay with the trucks. I like what you said there. That truck race was exciting. The mother of all wrecks on the restart. Charlie, how many trucks did they wreck coming to green on that last restart?
I started watching the race because on X, I saw that Corey LaJoie was leading late. So I just started watching at the end. There was a million restarts. I was rooting for Corey LaJoie just because it was a good story that he said, hey, only 12 people watched the trucks. And then he basically said, look, I stuck my foot in my mouth. I say a lot of dumb stuff. So his press conference was good on Friday, apologizing for that. So I was hoping he was going to win actually at the end there. But yeah, that finish was very exciting.
Kenny, did you see that?
I just saw highlights of the last restart.
Let me just say this: it was like the mother of all restarts, and they can push each other. And those trucks, they're tall. They push a lot of air. Yeah, I'm venturing to say 10 wrecked out. Yeah, there was Stewart running about 12.
They can't always successfully push one another, but they can push one another. Yeah. That's what happened there. I mean, they said it was a push gone bad.
Stuart Friesen reminds me of you.
I've got 12.
12
wrecked?
12, yeah.
I'm not laughing. I'm just saying, whoa. Holy moly.
Yeah.
Stewart's the Kenny Schrader. He wins the truck race. He goes back up into the Northeast, gets in his center steer mod, and outruns the very best, and is still winning on a weekly basis.
Yeah, because they big races. Yeah. He also runs good when some of those tracks up there. He drives with the World Outlaws. He drives Glenn Steyer's sprint car, and I think he ran third last year in one. That's pretty big difference.
Stuart Friesen is the real deal.
Oh yeah.
He reminds me of Priest too. Ryan Preece and they and I kind of throw Carson Hocevar in there. These are our racers, right? They race short track. They go back and forth. They win. This is throwback drivers.
They turn over.
They turn over.
No, Larson.
Oh, God! Did everybody see that?
Yeah.
What track was that, Kenny?
Was
that high limit race?
It was a Wisconsin track.
Kyle Larson flipped pretty big. He said it broke an axle.
Yeah. When he got there, it didn't have a right rear wheel or tire.
He got back to the Cup track, and of course, everybody interviewed him. What happened? Broke an axle. What caused that? It broke an axle.
Plymouth dirt track.
Plymouth, yeah.
Plymouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, you look at Stuart Friesen, Ryan Preece, Carson Hocevar, Kyle Larson. Man, everything's getting old school. I'm not trying to tie everything together, everybody. I'm just saying we're getting some old school racers back. I mean, boy, things really are looking up. I like this. Little by little, we got more NASCAR drivers going back to the short tracks like Kenny Schrader did.
That's not hurting our Sunday crowds either. Our TV.
Charlie, did Kenny Schrader and myself just uncover something by accident? We got more NASCAR drivers going back racing short tracks.
I would think that's great for fans. You're going to get those fans that see those NASCAR drivers at the short tracks. They're going to want to watch them on Sunday. I think it just all builds motorsports fans for sure.
Are we missing anybody, Kenny? We've said Ryan Preece, Stuart Friesen, Kyle Larson, Carson Hocevar.
Well, Kyle Busch still does it a ton. He probably runs more races about than anybody. Right now, he runs a lot. He don't run more than anybody, but him and his son out there beating with them mini splits and stuff.
Good point.
Yeah,
man, that's a good.
There's a lot of them playing.
People say, "What do you like about Herm Schrader?" I said, "I learn a lot." I think we just uncovered a little bit right there in a fun way. Okay, next subject up is a fun one. Don't want everybody to get too serious on us here, but on Prime, NASCAR Victory Lane, after the race, then I went backwards. The pre-race show. The pre-race show was shocking. Carl Edwards is, not racing NASCAR. Carl Edwards looks at Chase Elliott and says, "Hi, Chase, I've never met you before." Holy moly. Carl Edwards looks at Chase Elliott and says, "Hi, Chase, I've never met you before." Here's my first question. He says, like me, I choose to go back to Columbia, Missouri after all my NASCAR Cup races. And Chase Elliott, you choose to go back to Dawsonville, Georgia. Do you feel that is better for you? And, Kenny and Charlie, it got me thinking. You look at somebody like Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. He flew his own plane. He went back home all the time. He went to Dawsonville. Darrell Waltrip did it. Sterling Marlin did it. But for the most part, over 90% of the drivers, when they were running in NASCAR, they felt like they had to live in Charlotte. What's your thought on that question that Carl Edwards gave to Chase Elliott?
Well, just a matter of where you want to live. If you're down there, you do get consumed in it, which you should be, pretty consumed in it. It's your job, and it's not a 40-hour-a-week job. It looks like it might be, but it's not, especially if you're going by the shop and doing that kind of stuff. The teams all leave out of Charlotte. I mean, it's just easier to live in Charlotte if you're doing that job. But Carl, Chase, Bill all had their planes and their pilot license. Darrell had his plane and a pilot, so it makes it a lot simpler just to go home.
And you got me thinking right there. Chase Elliott and Carl Edwards are good pilots. So they fly their own planes back and forth. Chase Elliott said to Carl Edwards that, staying out of the mix helps him, and I'm paraphrasing here. Chase Elliott said staying out of the toxic area of Charlotte keeps his head cleaner. And I'll go with that because Jimmy Johnson made a big deal out of that. He told your old boss, Mr. H, Rick Hendrick, Jimmy Johnson said, Mr. H, I want to move out to Colorado. And then, of course, Mr. H said, as long as you are involved in all the team meetings and you're doing what needs to be done. But there are some drivers that feel like Charlotte is just too toxic. And I found it odd that that's the question Carl went to. I think there's just a little, not everybody's tough as you, Kenny.
No, it's not that at all. But we had our own team and stuff, and I wanted to be at the race shop every day. It was my own, and be able to go to the cup shop. So it's just it's no big deal. It's just a matter of where you want to live.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point. You Ken Schrader Racing's still going strong, and you might have left that cup. How many years now, Kenny?
I don't know.
Long damn time.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
81,
Congratulations.
81 or 2.
That's big. Ken Schrader Racing.
Yeah.
What is the deal with our names? Are you're Ken, but people call you Kenny. I'm Kenny, but they call me Herman.
Well, it's because you want to be Herman.
Do you want to be Kenny or Ken?
I don't give a crap. I call my daughter. And one day when she was pretty little, she said, Daddy, you always call me daughter. My name is Dorothy. And I said, well, daughter, you always call me Daddy.
Oh!
And my name is Ken.
Woo!
Okay, she said. I'm okay with that. Yeah.
For the win.
Yeah. I don't care.
Good stuff. All right, everybody, respond right here. If you race in the NASCAR Cup Series, do you find it too toxic? Is it better to live away from the Charlotte area? You go to the restaurants and everybody wants to talk racing. So I thought that was really, really interesting. Okay, we're having fun, everybody. We're kind of going back and forth. Ty Dillon in the cup race ran over a squirrel coming into his pit area. Is that the PETA police? Is that something where they get involved or what? Charlie, what's that about?
I don't know if PETA's coming on board, but aren't they calling the squirrel Peanuts? Isn't that what they said? They named it Peanuts. I know NASCAR Chasm was having fun with that. I think they named the squirrel Peanuts.
And the Raleigh squirrel, we had a squirrel run through the baseball field and we won the World Series. And Ty Dillon, what did he finish? 10th, Charlie? Where did Ty Dillon finish? He had a great run. He looked
Ty
good.
Dillon. Where did he finish? Let me find him.
That's okay.
Ty Dillon finished 24th, actually.
Oh, damn it. That ruined my
Hey, I'm telling you, I don't care if you're at Michigan or any of those cup tracks or Grant City, Illinois or Eldora, any of them places. There's always going to be squirrels. If you're racing, there's going to be squirrels.
Oh, my God. And ladies and gentlemen, he's here all night long. Kenny Schrader.
Hey,
good.
The biggest race of the weekend, in my mind, that I knew about, other than Michigan, was Eldora.
And we're getting there. That's a teaser. We got just a little bit more. Eldora was one for the ages, and we got all the notes right here. We have to talk about this. I know we don't want to, but we have to. As you all can tell by now, these are all loose bolts and nuts part of the show.
Loose bolts and nuts.
Yeah. NASCAR won its appeal. They reversed the first announcement where the first ruling was 2311 in front row. They could race and they deserved a charter. NASCAR said, we're going to appeal that ruling. And now the appeals board said, nope, NASCAR's right. 2311 and front row as early as the end of this month. Looks like they're going to be racing without provisionals or money.
You left out a part.
Go ahead.
Not to interrupt, but I am.
No, interrupt. I need help.
They deserve all that, but they didn't sign the agreement.
Yes.
And they said we want it anyway.
Yeah. So 2311 in front row. I'm just reading what Bob Pockras puts out there. And is Bob Pockras, was he an attorney? Because he understands all that stuff.
Well, he writes it. We don't know if he understands it, but he writes it. Do you understand everything you say?
Sometimes I got to go, what did I just say?
Yeah, okay.
At the end of this month, 2311 and front row could be racing without big bonus money, without any provisionals. But, my smart ass comment is, look, there's only 38, 39 cars anyway. I mean, when is there over 40, Charlie? Daytona. So it's the money. Denny
Yeah, it's just the money.
Oh my God. How much money would that be per race that they would be losing? Well, that's a lot. They don't announce earnings anymore. That messes everything up.
All I know is I talked like the woods, and the difference between being a chartered car and unchartered are substantial.
Yeah, big. It's big. Denny Hamlin came out in one of his interviews, and they're like, Denny. Of course, Denny's racing for Joe Gibbs right now, but Denny Hamlin owns 2311 along with Michael Jordan. And he says, listen, even if we lose this charter, it's still not what we're going for. And we feel confident, So this is just a little hiccup in their road. And they're going for the mother load. They're going for the trial, I guess. And this deal just drags on and on. But we had to talk about this because this was a finality. Charlie, can they, now that the appeal has been won, is by law, do they go back again? I guess there can't be another appeal, or is there?
So I'm also just reading from Bob Pockras, just so you know. But Bob Pockras the other day said 2311 can appeal. And so it's like 14 days from the other day they could appeal, and then it wouldn't take place until 7 days after that. So basically, if 2311 in front row, if they just lose, it's basically 3 weeks from the announcement, which was last Thursday. 3 weeks from then, they could be running as non-chartered teams. But that preliminary injunction is just for 2025. Everything is about this trial, which would start in December. That would be for everything moving forward.
Okay. Speaking of moving forward, Kenny, we got one more thing to talk about, and we're going to Eldora. NASCAR Cup Series. It's been a long time since the NASCAR Cup Series has went international. The trucks are headed down to Mexico City, Mexico right now. It is a 35-hour drive. They all are convoying. NASCAR is requiring all the trucks and trailers to convoy from the Michigan Speedway. They will get down there, I guess, to go through inspection, got to get across the border. And they're going to race at Hermano Rodriguez. Now, I've raced there. It's fun. I just want to say this to give you all a little material. Breathing is harder because they are 7,300 feet in the air. And for example, Vegas and Pocono are 1,800. When I was there, okay, you just want to get there. You want to get acclimated. But every once in a while, you'll go, damn, I got to catch my breath. There's a lot of bacterial, I think it's one of the largest cities in the world. When you land, it kind of looks like a dust storm. This is what I experienced. People that make movies down there, they told me, and I did. So I'm telling you, I did this. I took Cipro. Cipro is a little bitty white pill, keeps you from bacterial infection. You need to drink plenty water and Gatorade because this racetrack is 7,300 feet in the air. Now, give me your thoughts, Kenny Schrader. I know you're going to be a smart ass, so go ahead.
I am racing Friday, Saturday at, I think it's Big Sky Speedway, right outside of Billings, Montana.
Damn.
And we'll be there Sunday for Federate, and I'm glad I will be there watching.
I'll be darned.
But I'm glad I'm going to be in Montana watching that race.
How high is that? Billings, Montana. Charlie, what the altitude of Billings, Montana?
No, it's above Wyoming.
Yeah, the altitude of that did not go over my head.
I've got 3,123.
Well, all I meant was I'm not going to be there.
Yeah, I know.
So have fun, guys.
Yeah,
the guys that are there. It'll be neat. I think it'll be huge. And I think that Daniel Suarez, let's script it. I mean, how cool. Remember 2 years ago he won Sonoma.
Oh, ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Kenny Schrader coming with the receipts, everybody.
That. So, that would be great.
Wow. I can't believe they didn't ask me to come. Hermano Rodriguez. I'm Herman. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the NASCAR Cup Series, along with Charlie, what's the other division? Is it the
Xfinity.
NASCAR?
Xfinity.
Oh, Xfinity's going there.
Yeah, because a lot of guys, you're supposed to know this stuff. There's
a lot of guys
are doing double
duty.
Double duty.
Is the Mexican
more than normal? They're letting more than normal run.
Is NASCAR Mexican series running? NASCAR has a Mexico series.
I don't know.
Charlie, you need to know that. Okay. Respond right here, everybody.
Oh, hold on real quick. You want the weekend schedule?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay, here we go. We've got the Chilango 150. That's on Saturday. That's Xfinity. And then the Viva Mexico 250. That is Sunday. And I'm looking at practice, qualifying. How about Ricardo Rodriguez 120? That's on Friday. That's the Mexico series.
NASCAR Mexico, yeah.
I think they have maybe a couple races for Mexico series. Pedro Rodriguez 100. The Ricardo Rodriguez 120.
Oh, yeah. This is good stuff. So there's a couple Mexico series races.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be exciting. Finally, Kenny Schrader, we have dirt racing and jokes. Tell me about dirt.
Well, I was just thinking, I don't know how many annual it was at the Dream this year. That place was packed, and they had two qualify, split the field. They had a Wednesday night race, which Flow TV was behind. Little Pierce won it. They had a Thursday half the field qualifier, and another half the field qualifier Friday, which both wound up the features being on Friday because of a rain delay, late rain Thursday messed up the feature, which Josh Rice won, who's awesome around the top. And I don't know who won the other one. Davenport did. Davenport won the other one. And then he came back to win Saturday night. That was those two feature wins for $130,000 for his Lance and Darrell Landers owned car. That's pretty big.
So we got a lot to talk about here from Eldora. I believe that Superman, Jonathan Davenport, I believe this car only runs Eldora. And they take it back to the shop, they wash it, they pimp it out, make the body perfect again, and they only run it at Eldora. Is that what you hear too, Kenny?
I heard that a couple times ago, so I'm assuming they're still doing the same thing. I don't know that for a fact, but
one thing you and I have in common, we have a lot in common. And, but I added his money up for him. Listen to this. Jonathan Davenport's Eldora record. Now, this was from Derek Kissinger. He's won 5 World 100s, 4 Dreams, 1 race that they held was called the Million, and the one that we forgot about, the Intercontinental, which paid like $250,000. So he is by far the only dirt racer in history that has won $2 million or more. $2 million.
You said you added up. What is it?
It's 2.2 million because the now I didn't do that. Somebody on social media that I believe in, what hides is the Intercontinental. That was all during COVID. They called it the Intercontinental. Charlie, can you Google all that? How much of the Intercontinental? I don't know if you can find that, but if you just take the million, okay, anyone
that's $1 million.
Yeah, 5 World 100s, 4 Dreams.
Yeah, the World 100 doesn't pay near as much as the Dream.
Oh, it doesn't.
No.
What's it pay?
The World 100, if I'm right here, paid $3,000 to win in 1971, and then it's went up $1,000 a year since then.
That only makes sense.
And the Dream started out at 100 and is still at 100. Qualifying nights pay a lot more, but everybody wants to win the World because that's the World and it's the most prestigious. Personally,
so
I'd
the
rather
World
win the
is
Dream.
the most. Okay, I thought
could because it's 1971. It's been going. I'm sure it's 71.
Okay, everybody, respond right here. I'm saying JD's won $2 million at Eldora.
That's safe.
I think that's pretty safe. Oh, I'm excited. Kenny Schrader says that's a safe bet. So we wasted 2 minutes right there. I got more minutes to be wasted.
Okay. We had this conversation before. Charlie, 1971 World 100.
We love you, Charlie.
I think it was Pat Patrick. And the guys that you talked to at Florence, was it Slicker Auto Parts?
Oh, Kyle Stricker?
That was paid $3,000. I think Pat Patrick in their car. I think.
I've got Bruce Gould.
Bruce Gould. Okay.
JD won the Dream, and I called it a Tennessee ass whipping. And somebody goes, he's from Georgia. I'm like, hey, dummy. Tennessee ass whipping. Scott Bloomquist, he would win those races, and he'd get out, and Scott Bloomquist would say, well, I just gave them a Tennessee ass whipping. Kenny Schrader, listen to this. JD gave them a Tennessee ass whipping. He won. He did not pit. He never pitted. And he won by 10.135 seconds.
Yeah. And Little Pierce, I think, pitted on lap 52 with a flat and come back and run second.
Okay, I want to talk about that for a minute. I don't want the dirt world to get mad at me. Don't get mad at me, guys. Please don't get mad at me. Is that right? You have a flat, so you slow down. And I love that because when I have a flat, I want them to throw the caution for me too. You have a flat. It's just common. You have a flat. All you do is slow down. They throw the caution for you. You come in. You get way better rubber than anybody. And you're on the lead lap. Is that just the way dirt racing is going to be?
Well, have we ever seen anybody spin out late in a cup race? Spin out, yellow comes out, come in, get 4 tires when no one else and win the race? Oh, I think we have.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you.
It's just the way it worked. Would Bobby have rather not had the flat? Oh, yeah. He'd rather not. He'd taken his right rear and the track position he had. but he definitely made the most of it.
Bobby Pierce said after the race, he said, "I'm glad I had the flat because I was getting ready to come in anyway."
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what, and we all love Bobby. I love Bobby. They're good friends of mine. So lay
They're
off
doing
me,
great.
everybody.
They're doing great. So anyway, I just thought that's a pretty prestigious race.
Oh my God, it's unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Eldora, JD, Jonathan Davenport, and to think Clint Boyer fired him. I go, hey Boyer, did you fire Jonathan Davenport?
Oh well, he wouldn't now.
So there's a little bit more to that story. We had JD on Kenny Conversation, and listen up, everybody. You can go over there right now. He literally told us one of the reasons I started winning is I got glasses. And so much to where Dean Hoffman came up to me at Tri-City Speedway, and he looked at me like a deer in the headlights. He goes, "I went and got glasses." All these dirt racers started going to get glasses because JD says, when I go down the highway at night, everybody's lights were starting to illuminate. Like, it's like, it means you need glasses you can't see. All these dirt racers started running and getting glasses. Now they all wear glasses. It's but Kenny, that's insane. JD claims he says it on Kenny Conversation. I said, "So JD, you're telling me you couldn't see?" He goes, "Yeah." He says, I wore glasses. I started winning.
Well,
what?
Deathridge Optics.
It's incredible.
Yep.
Well, some people think glasses are embarrassing, but I can tell you this. Joey Logano wears glasses. How many championships has he won?
Yeah, it's not near as bad as running into stuff.
Right. Tony Stewart.
Yeah. No problem.
Switching gears. How about Rico Abreu? Kenny, talk about being on a heater. He's won everything. He even won a World of Outlaw race, and he's a high-limit driver.
Yeah. Well, Brad Sweet won one, too. And he owns high limits.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just, they're on top of their game, just like Sweet, just like Lars. I mean, a bunch of them. David Gravel's been good. I mean, there's so many of them. It's good. It's just tough, man. There's so many of them cars that can win. But Rico's always going to be good.
As I have 3 pages of notes. I do want to give a shout out to third place. Don't start laughing. Third place at Eldora. Nick Hoffman also pitted and went down a lap. Got the lucky dog and came from dead last. Nick said after the race, he goes, "I know when I went back by those guys, they were probably thinking, what?"
Yeah, no, I never laugh at that. That was a fantastic run, and he just, he's still relatively new into the late model world, but 2 or 3 years, and he just gets better and better and better and all the time, which is no surprise that Nick Hoffman is going to run good. He's a hell of a driver, and he knows his cars.
Yeah,
forward, backwards.
His owner, how do you say his owner's last name? Ty. Please, I apologize, everybody. Nick Hoffman's owner, Ty Torog, but anyway, the owner's got a hell of a deal there, and so does Nick, because you pay Nick and you get the driver and the crew chief and the shop. So that is a match made in heaven, because Nick doesn't wreck very much and does it all. So do you got that owner's name there, Charlie?
Ty Twarog.
Yeah.
Twarog.
Yeah. So congratulations, Nick Hoffman, right across the river here in St. Louis, Belleville, Illinois. What else, Kenny?
Nothing. How bad are the jokes?
They're okay. Always first. got to tell people about the merch line on Dirty Mo Media. Great shirts, hats, hoodies, all that. It is shop.dirtymomedia.com to check out all the new stuff. And listeners, viewers, get your jokes in, all right? Let's get some good ones here. These are okay. And it's just random. We just
want a good one. Just
yep.
one good.
I Googled hilarious jokes, so you can be the judge. Here we go. Why did the veterinarian prescribe birth control pills for dogs? Why did the veterinarian prescribe birth control pills for dogs? It's part of an anti-litter campaign.
Oh.
All right. Here we go.
Smart.
Yeah.
On what grounds did the police arrest the devil? On what grounds did the police arrest the devil?
Hot grounds.
They got him on possession.
Possessed.
Yeah. Okay. These are okay. What do rich people say when they tickle babies? What do rich people say when they tickle babies? I'll give you a hint. It's not coochie coochie goo.
Gucci something.
Yep. It's Gucci Gucci goo. There you go. And
Good
the last
stuff.
one. This will be over soon. How many therapists does it take to change a light bulb? How many therapists does it take to change a light bulb?
Okay, I think I've heard this one before, but I still don't know the answer. But this one is famous.
It is only one, but the light bulb has to want to change.
Okay.
Ladies
You have
and
to want
gentlemen,
to change.
Please
You have
send
to
us
want
some
to change.
jokes. You have to want to change.
You always say this, Herm. You say your life will not change until you change your life. So the light bulb will not change until it wants to change.
Right,
Okay?
I get it. Yep. I'm going to tell you what, that is a pretty... Me and Schrader, we're super smart, and nothing bothers us, but that statement did help me. Your life will not change until you change your life. In other words, you keep messing up. Maybe you ought to try something different.
Yeah, I don't care how screwed up I am. I'm not going to change, or do I want to change?
Damn it. You're supposed to add the damn it there, Kenny. Yeah. Okay. Kenny, before we read this awesome Fox factory vehicle rollout, where are you going? People want to know what you're up to so they can come see you this weekend.
Well, this weekend, it's Big Sky Raceway and right outside of Billings, Montana. 2-day IMCA special show. Looking forward to it. But we're leaving to go up and do Federated Auto Parts Play Days. I think I'm going to cruise over around Moberly Tuesday night, but that gives me an 8-hour drive Tuesday night after the races. But I can do that.
That's easy for
you.
And
then do Wisconsin, Minnesota, Montana, Idaho, Washington.
Charlie Marlowe, don't let him tease you. He's as happy as a pig in mud. He loves it.
Right. Tell me
I'm
about
excited
4
for
in the
you.
morning in the truck. Tell me that.
Why did I do this?
Yeah.
It's like sometimes they say, hey, Kenny Wallace, why do you have a picture of your mom and dad in your race car? I said, well, that's simple. When my dumb ass is in the chute at like 1:30 in the morning, I look at that and I go, oh, that's why I'm doing this. My dad raced. But, those dirt races can get gnarly. They are not for the weak. Kenny, I just want to ask one question since we're on that. Let's go back to Eldora for a minute because it's famous for getting the races in. In your mind, you don't got to be totally accurate. What is the latest starting A main you've ever heard of at Eldora? At what time in the morning did they drop the green flag?
I've heard some 4:30s and 5s.
Oh my
in the
God.
morning, but because of weather,
Yeah.
but they stayed and got it done. They just stayed and got it done. Now, the other day, Levi Jones is running Eldora now, and they changed some schedules around, did some stuff, and you could see weather coming. and you could look at what they were changing, and they just maximized their opportunity to get everything in and did what they had to do, and they did a phenomenal job. It had a racetrack that they were running all over. It's like when Little Pierce had that flat. It's not like you're Darlington where everybody's running around the top and you have a flat and you just pull down the bottom and come in the pits. Well, Eldora, you run around top and have a flat, you can't just pull down. Plus, you got no mirrors and no spotters, so you don't just hang a left to go to the pits. You know, I mean, it's a little different in the dirt racing. But Eldora is just, there's very few tracks in the country that just have the reputation it does. I mean, there's other good tracks, but Eldora just does so good. And since Tony bought it, I mean, he's just made it better.
Well said. And I want to add on that I forgot Levi is running that place. I like that guy.
Levi's great.
And they done something that caught me off guard. I thought, well, I'll get on Flow and I'll watch the heat races. And they were dropping the green flag in the A main because they were beating rain. And sure enough, they said, Jonathan Davenport, are you going to stay in the pits and drink beer? He goes, I think we're getting out. The rain's on its way. And then Ricky Thornton on Snapchat, sure enough, they got out of the racetrack and the big rain was there.
Well, you know, NASCAR can do that too in the TV stuff, but they've got, I don't know the number, but it's a 12, 15 minute window or something that they can move stuff around. But because of the TV and that, they're a little more restricted, a lot more restricted.
Okay, everybody. That is the end of Herm Schrader, and we want to let everybody know we want to thank our sponsor, Fox Factory Vehicles, for bringing everyone's today's episode of Herm Schrader. We are thankful for their continued partnership with myself and Dirty Mo Media. Fox Factory Vehicles delivers the thrill. Build and price your dream ride today at foxfactoryvehicles.com. Fox Factory Vehicles, where performance meets precision. One last word, Kenny Schrader.
You write that out for me, and I'll hold it up so you can read. I'll hold it up here.
Okay.
I got to do it. I'll hold it up so you can read it.
Okay, look, everybody. We're going to give you a sneak preview behind the scenes, just so you all think it's so easy.
I never thought it was easy.
No, we're having fun here. There it is. There it is.
Well, put it on a roll. Put it on a roll.
Well, there's the first read, right? There's the first read. There's the second read. There's the third read. We love Fox Factory Vehicles, and it's okay. I want to thank Tyler Porter, who runs the motorsport program, and he's a flat tracker, Kenny. He runs flat track.
Yeah, those guys. Yeah. That's different.
That's different. Charlie, what else, buddy?
That's all I got, man. That looked like a CVS receipt that you just showed us there. That's the longest thing I've ever seen.
Now that's the joke I've been looking for. Let's try it, Charlie. Look, here, let's do it again. Charlie, say you want to hear this joke? Just say that. Say you want to hear this joke?
You want to hear this joke?
So here's my rollout read, everybody. And then you say,
it's longer than a CVS receipt.
Oh, and the hits just keep coming.
I can delete that out.
That was good stuff. All right, Kenny, do good. I'll be following. Please post on social media so I can see what's up. And until the next Herm Schrader show, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.